Peace, love, and light. Peace, love, and light. Subscriber picks and breakdowns, part 2. I got a new, let me see, probably like 10 to 15 new pictures, and that'll be on the latest subscriber picks and breakdowns after a couple more videos. Thank y'all for the videos and the pictures. I appreciate them all. Peace, love, and light to all the new subscribers. And this right here is going to be a reference point. So when I mention Sonic the Hedgehog, like I've mentioned in previous videos, these ghostly orbs that fly around people's homes, they fly around outside, they're all over. They resemble Sonic the Hedgehog. You can see the eye, the shape of the head, the crazy looking nose. I'll pull the light back to normal and just hold that in there. You can see this is a screenshot from one of the orbs of that fly through my home, one of many, but you clearly can see the eyeball. So when I mention Sonic the Hedgehog and they have a new movie coming out, it's not a coincidence, you know, where they get these characters from the spiritual realms. You see the eye right there. Okay, and when I mention Sonic and I mention rings and portals, please keep up because it's a reoccurring theme. Understand that. Okay? I'm going to show y'all something. Okay, I'm going to give a shout out. Let me get myself together here. Pull this picture up. So when I mention rings, okay, you see the giant rings. Shout out Sherry. Sherry sent me an email. She said, Riz, these rings are going up all across the cities in the U.S. These giant rings. She said they're going up as artwork, but she felt as though it was something spiritual connected to it. So I texted her back via email and said, you're exactly right. This is a spiritual thing. This is ring symbolism. So I did a little research and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to send symbolism on the rings of Saturn, the meaning of wedding rings. I actually sent her a short clip and a screenshot of the rings pertaining to Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie, the video game, and how these rings are used as energy centers and portals. Then she actually emailed me back and said, this is a picture from my town. I think it was in Michigan. And she showed the ring exactly like this in her town. And Sonic the Hedgehog was standing next to it. Like, I mean, it was crazy, folks. I'm gonna go to my email and show it to you because seeing is believing. So I'm like, hold on. You just sent me an email with Sonic the Hedgehog in it. And I just sent you some information about rings and pertaining to Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, and I felt like, well, damn, maybe I should have went a little deeper into the research and sent her something a little more concrete than something from a movie. But then she sent me back exactly what she was talking about and what I was talking about pertaining to Sonic the Hedgehog. So it's like, I couldn't really understand and believe it. It was like no coincidence. I'm trying to find it, folks. Let's see if we can find a picture. These emails act crazy sometimes. Bear with me, folks. See if I can find it. Tons of emails to scroll through. Here we go, folks. This is what she sent me from her hometown. Sterling Heights, Michigan. This is what they dropped in her town, folks. And they had a nerve to put this entity, this character, in connection with the ring. Thank you for bearing with me, folks. That was a little bit of a challenge, but we're going to go back to the pics. Okay? So when I mention entities like Sonic the Hedgehog, okay? This is where they get it from, folks. Situations like this. When they're bringing rings into your little city and your town, understand, okay? Portals, energy centers. When I'm showing you UFO ships, understand, I'm not making it up. I am the disclosure. I'm giving it to you in living color and with a verbal breakdown. Just going to scroll through before we get deep. Okay? When I show stuff, it's legitimate. Just giving you a rundown on the stuff that's not cloaked and what you believe are clouds. Okay? Real quick, seeing is believing. You see that? That's not birds. Okay? When I'm bringing it to you, I'm giving you the real deal. Peace, love, and light to my new subscribers. Welcome to the ride of your life. You're going to see some things that you didn't believe were real, but I'm here to show you. Horned entities with wings. I mean, that's very clear to see. You see the horns, the face, the body. I hold that in tight. Super zoom on that face with the horns. Pointed ears, eyes. You see his face. I don't have to explain it. So when I'm showing you stuff, understand it's coming from a very credible source. Okay? And when I show you winged beings flying through the sky, please don't make the mistake of me thinking I'm presenting birds to you when I'm literally showing you angelic beings with humanoid bodies and giant luminescent wings. Okay? Please find another channel if you're mistaken by anything that I present, because I only present what's really there. Now, this is a quick overview for my credibility for new subscribers that haven't been deep into my channel. I don't show poodles in the sky. I'm showing you living entities, beings, vessels, ships, UFOs, demons, angels, dragons, A to Z. And shout out to Mary Magdalene. Peace, love, and light to that queen. She has a very good channel. I suggest you all subscribe. And shout out Icy Charnay for putting me on to her channel. Okay, folks? Seeing is believing. You think these are birds? Let it resonate. See for self. Just so there could be no doubt. Giant winged creature, face and all. I wouldn't dare get up here and show you a picture of a bird. So you definitely got the wrong person and the wrong channel. See it for yourself, folks, right near the moon. You think that's a bird? You think this is a bird? You better wake up. You can't debate me. You cannot challenge me. I'm not here for that. I'm here for show and prove. Seeing is believing. That's it. Beautiful craft. You see the dimensions, detailed design, totally in our atmosphere, uncloaked. Helicopter observing it. Disc-shaped craft. Doesn't need much explanation. Helicopter right below it. Moving on, folks. Shout out, good brother. Continuation from subscriber picks and breakdowns. Going into that whole scene that I ended with. Look at the entity right here with the mask on, the armor. It's a man sitting here that appears to be black or have dark skin. Entities all sitting around. One there. I'm going to zoom in on the guy in the Iron Man looking suit. This wouldn't be the first time I caught an entity like this. Let's let the focus catch up. Try to pull down some light. Just take a look at the scene, folks. I mean, you see the man's arms and wrists coming out of his white robe. You see his face. He has a beard and he has a square type crown on. I'm going to zoom in as tight as I can and hold that in still. Entities and beings. Horns folded back. Take you into this character right here. That's observing the congregation. That's right here. Right there is his face. You see his wings pointed up, folded down, and its body is right here. I'm going to zoom in on his face. Seeing is believing. I mean, you could darn near see the cheekbones. You see the nose, the eyes, you see the hair on top of the head, the mouth. And that's right there, folks. Amongst the congregation of entities on the outside parts of these craft. Giant, massive vessels. The detail in these things are crazy. Look at this. I'm going to pull the light back up to normal, and I'm going to take you in to show you some of the entities that are just standing on the outside of the craft. Look at the structure that's up here, folks. We were just right there. Geometry. Should not be seeing any of this. Hard edge structure. Looks like stone. And you see that partial circle from this far away. I'm going to zoom in on it. Construction, folks. You see that? That's a whole face on the outside part of this craft. Seeing is believing. I'm taking you so zoomed in, so close in on these entities, beings, and vessels. It's ridiculous. Look at this. Look at this. I mean, this is like so organic. It's like a creature there. Look at that. I mean, you could damn near see the fang hanging out of his mouth. The point on his head. He has wings on his back. And he's gigantic. You see the face. And that's right there. Unbelievable stuff, folks. Okay, there's something else in this picture that stuck out to me right here. If you can't see that, that's a spiritual entity or being hanging off the edge of this massive craft. And how do you explain this entity or being? See his arms, his head, his body. I'm going to hold that in tight. You see the blackness of the eyes? And look at his arm. Can't tell me this is not a craft, intelligent, all shaped like animals. Look at that. And it's over here. Peace, love, and light. Shout out, good brother. Shout out Queen Cheyenne for this picture right here. I'm going to show y'all some things in it. Let's move to the one with the highlight. Show you some of the spiritual beings that are in and around it. You see the face and the eye. This is like a menagerie of faces all over. I'm constantly seeing pictures like this with heads of people, animals, entities. I mean, look at the face on this being. He has a point on his head. Eye, the other eye is obscured. Here's his body, and it's spewing out this way, along with this other spiritual being. I'm going to hold that in tight. Pull down some light. And they all move like sea creatures. Make no mistake, that's a face yelling out. Mouth, eyes. Clear to see. And this mass right here is a giant vessel, organic and machine. You can see the separation in it. I'll zoom in right there to show you. Living creature. And I'll show you the eye of the actual beast. Front of his head and face is right here. Hold that in tight so there could be no doubt. See the eye? I'm going to pull it back out for perspective. Living beast. There's the eye. And all this spiritual energy and people and activity is going on and around it and coming off of it. Let's pull down the light so there could be no doubt. Still see the eye. And then I'll take you in over here and show you more living creatures. Look at this, folks. This is alive. You can see the spikes coming out from the side of his face. You see his eye, and it has the build of a snake or serpent. Crazy stuff, folks. Peace, love, and light. Shout out Queen Cheyenne. Another one of Cheyenne's pics. Do some highlight on it. I'm going to take you into some of the spiritual activity that's going on. First and foremost, if this was the moon, they did a very, very bad job of trying to fog it out. But you can clearly see the face that's on it. I'll pull down the light. Seeing is believing. Here's the eye, the nose, the mouth. See it for yourself, folks. Perfect. Pull the light back up. Show you these entities that are floating through our atmosphere that people mistake as chemtrails, but are actually living creatures with wings, vertebrae, tails, eyeballs. Here's the head of the entity right here. Here's his eye. Now follow me. I'm going to zoom out. We just right here. Here's his face. Here's his eye, shaped like some type of sea creature. And if you go down, you see the vertebrae that are on its back, and it has a wing or fin extending out this way. Now I'm going to zoom in on the bones on its back. Perfect vertebrae with spaces in the middle, just like you. The disc in the middle of the bone. You see it? It's crazy, folks. They're all over the sky. Creatures with vertebrae that move like fish. Look at this face on this entity right here. People will say, oh, that's just an ugly chemtrail. This is actually a living creature. You can see the horn on the front of its head. You can see the bony appendages coming off the side of his face. Here's his eye. And you clearly see his horns are embedded inside of its head. Can't make that up, folks. You're looking at stuff in the sky that's supernatural. And I'm here to show you. Zoom out for perspective. Unbelievable. Queen Cheyenne again. Look at this. And you really see the sea creature in this one. The vertebrae or bones. And the head has disappeared, is moved into this haze. But that's very clear to see. I hold that in tight. Okay. Massive formation. All cloaked vessels, ships. All aerodynamic, piled on top of each other. Right in plain sight. But Cheyenne knew what she was looking at. Okay, moving on. Shout out Kurt Washington Jr. I'm going to show you another flying physical entity, folks, with the trunk of an elephant, crazy looking face, and it's a giant, massive ship. The side is open right here because you can see the difference in variation of color. And this is the complete body of the flying ship / living entity. And I'm going to take you in on the face so you can see the detail in the trunk of the massive flying beast. It has 3 points on the front of its trunk. And see it, folks? And its eyes are set close into the skull, right there. And it's a person on the outside edge. I'm going to zoom in and show you. Seeing is believing. Let's let this catch up. There he is. Perfect. I'm going to zoom in a little more because I'm going to get the detail in his face. Now, see him for yourself, folks. You see the crazy looking appendage that's on top of his head. Here's his eye, his other eye. He's looking down. He has a bird beak. And here is his wing. Look at that, extending from its shoulder all the way around, like the wing of a bat. And you see his face clearly. Okay, I'm going to zoom out and you still see him right here. So when you see creatures like Jeepers, Creepers, and these certain types of beings, understand why so many people go missing. Because it's giant stuff in the sky, you know, and they're doing a job. Another entity sitting inside this massive portal or formation or ship. I mean, this thing looked like it's sitting at like right at the captain's chair. I mean, look, you can see this is a human. He has a brown face, a black beard. He's wearing a head garb with a black strap going across it. Here's his garment with the V shape going around his beard line and neck. White coming down in front of him, like a white outline of his zipper. And here's his clothing on the outside, shoulders and body. I'll hold that in tight so there could be no doubt. Peace, love, and light. Shout out Kurt Washington Jr. Always great pictures. And we're going to let that catch up. You see that. You see the V-shaped collar going around his clothing. And here's his face. I'm going to show you where he is. He's right here, and he's coming in this massive ship. And he's on the outside of it. You see the point in front of him that he's sitting in front of? I'm going to zoom in on that. Almost like he's at the controls. Peace, love, and light. Massive flying beast. And I'm going to take you right here to this illuminated part on the side of this craft and show you the entity that's standing inside the vessel right there. Let's go. You see him? You see the silhouettes of the beings and entities that are in this craft? I mean, this is close encounters of the third kind. Like, folks, like I'm taking you like on the side of the ship. And then here he is. I'm gonna zoom you in just on his face so you could look into his eyes. See the top of his head, his ears. Here's his face. See his eye, his entire head, his mouth is open and he has fangs. You see his teeth? Zoom in. Craziness, folks. And we were just right here on the entity's face. I'm going to zoom out some more. See him in there? Peace, love, and light. Shout out Kurt. Always great pictures. Another one, Kurt. This is the original right here. This is the one I put some highlight contrast on and played with the exposure. Now, you clearly can see that this is a giant looking whale entity. But people see this, oh, that's just a fluffy cow. Then you can see the face that's looking down. That's right above it. But let's go into the sea creature first. I mean, you can see The tail. You see his eye. His mouth is open. I mean, you could almost clearly see teeth. I'm going to zoom in on the mouth line. And look, that's the eye. Massive beast flying through the sky. And then with the face being projected down. Eye, nose, mouth, lips, chin. Look at this. You see it, folks. Look at the entity that's on the back. Please, y'all tell me what this is. At this part of the video, 31 minutes. What is that, folks? I know what it looks like to me, but I'm going to hold that in tight. Head, eye, beak, body, wings. And you wonder where they get all this stuff from in our reality. Brother Kirk again. It's crazy pictures, folks. Icy Charnay. How do you have this? Look at that massive V-shaped, unidentified flying object, and look what's falling out of it. I mean, come on. Look at that. Look at the edge of the craft. Shout out Queen Icy, too, for putting me on Tamara Magdalene's page. I really appreciate that. She has great information over there. True insider. And she even posted one of my videos on her channel. I really appreciate that, Queen. That's all love. Look at the entities that's coming out of this thing. I mean, they're wearing clothing and everything. They're just in our space. And they're very easy to see if you're aware. Good brother moonshot with the halo going around it. Okay, just exposes the dome that's up there. That's all. Light refracting or reflecting off of glass. That's what you're getting. Look at that. Beautiful. Peace, love, and light. You already know.